number 13th ranked UFC welterweight, the silent assassin, Vicente Luque. Thank you so much for the time. I know it's not the best situations right now, but how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, man, once more. And you know, uh, not so happy with what has been going on, but it's part of the situation. And the most important thing is that we're safe and we're healthy, and that's what really matters.
Fighters, they're known for being able to adapt more than I think any other athlete because you're fighting for your life. So I feel like that characteristic is very helpful in situations like this for every fighter.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, this is kind of like the second time my fight is canceled because I was gonna fight April 11th. Then it was canceled. I just decided to keep myself ready. I never knew what was gonna happen. They called me for April 18, UFC 249. I right away was ready. Came from Brazil all the way to the U.S. Just to make sure that I was gonna be in the U.S. and not have any problems to come here for this competition. The UFC tried to do their best, but the event is not gonna go on, so it was canceled once more. And it's crazy, but we adapt. Now I'm just gonna go back home, be with my family, and make sure they're safe, and I keep myself safe. And I'm gonna keep training, so whenever I have a chance to get back in there again, I can be ready for that.
All right, let's go back to UFC Portland. Of course, that fight or that event was postponed slash canceled. And you were in Brazil at that time. So did the UFC tell you once they figured out, okay, we're going to put you on the 249 card? They're like, get out of Brazil. You need to get on a flight right now. Get to Florida.
Yeah, they talked to me about that, and they thought it was smarter for me to come to the U.S. before any borders were closed or anything like that. But also, I thought it would be better for me to train if I came here because I'm at Gilbert's house, and he has a great garage with all we need to train. Back in Brazil, I was training at home by myself, so I thought it made sense. At least 2 weeks I can stay in Gilbert's house, have a good preparation for UFC 249, and I would be ready to go. So not only the fact that was interesting for me to be in the U.S. to make sure borders were not closed, but also I thought training would be better here.
Oh, definitely. You guys are two of the best in the world, locked in together. That's you can't get no better than that.
Yeah, that's the best quarantine for a camp. Best way to do a camp during quarantine, for sure.
Yeah. You first off, you were ready to fight Randy Brown, and then it switched to Nico Price, which is a rematch, a guy that you already beat a few years back. Now, were you just ready to fight, or because it almost seems like it didn't really make sense to take that fight against Nico Price?
I was just ready to fight. That's the thing. Whoever the opponent was gonna be, didn't really wasn't my concern at that point. Obviously, I wanted a guy that has some momentum, and Nico Price does have. He's coming off a win against James Vick. He's a tough guy. We fought before, but that was almost 3 years ago. So it would be a new fight, and our styles, I mean, make sense. Everybody's gonna have fun watching us fight against each other. So it just made sense in my mind, and I thought it was a good fight for me. I could get in there and have a good performance, and it didn't happen, but I thought it made sense at the moment to take this fight, and especially fighting how everything is going. I thought it was so good, the idea that we were going to entertain people at home. They have nothing to watch, no sports to watch. So I thought, like, man, I'm going to go out there and everybody's going to have fun watching me. It's not going to happen, but, hopefully soon everything goes back to normal.
Before you left Brazil, how was the atmosphere there? Was there some panic? People were really worried about this coronavirus.
Yeah, people there are really concerned, and everybody's respecting a lot the quarantine. And I think that's a big part of keeping everyone safe. We cannot spread this, so we have to try to stay as much as home as we can. That's my whole idea why I came here, because in Brazil I wasn't confident that I could stay at home and have all my training. Over here I could come, stay at Gilbert's place, and not leave from here and train and make sure that I was going to be ready. So I think at this moment, that's what we got to do. Everybody has to be together and have the mentality. We got to fight this virus and be, everybody together. And after this happens and everything goes away, then we think about what we're gonna do and what we have to do for business and about fighting. In my case, but I mean, it's just a crazy situation right now.
Were there any people close to you against you fighting?
No, not really. I had a great support from my family, and it was really hard for me, the idea that I had to leave Brazil and leave my family over there. But at the same time, I knew and I trusted them. I knew that they were gonna, take care of themselves and make sure they were gonna be safe. So, it was hard, but it's what we have to do. It's what we do. Fighting is what we live for. So I had to do it.
They're in the news. Eric Silva and his family. They were affected by the virus, and Rose Namajunas also. She had some family members die due to the virus. That was reported. When you see stuff like that, do you kind of step back and be like, oh, maybe I might have to chill out and not fight in the next couple months?
Yeah, no, I understand that that's probably the reality right now. I mean, this fight, I thought it was going to go on, especially because the UFC was taking every single step to make it in a safe way, in a safe manner. They did not want to put any of the fighters in risk, and especially other people in risk. So they were taking all the precautions for that to happen. That's why I was going with it. If I didn't feel that it was going to be safe and it was not going to be something that I can support, I would not be part of it. That's why I was supporting it, because I believe in the UFC and the work they do. But how everything is going and things are escalating really quickly, I think it is a reality. We are going to have to sit back for a while, not only fighters but everyone in general, and a lot of people struggle with that, because fighters, for example, we only get paid when we fight, but there are a lot of other people that have services every single day, and they only get paid when they work. So it's a hard time for a lot of people, and we just gotta trust that everything's going to be good and keep positive mentality and get through this.
Dana White said in the interview when he announced that 249 was canceled, he said that he would make things right for the fighters that got on the card. That kind of makes you happy, right? That he's going to take care of the fighters even though you didn't compete.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Dana White's a great guy, and the UFC always takes care, at least, regarding me, they always took good care of me. They really care about my safety and about my well-being. And, it was not their call. They could not do anything about it. And all of us fighters, we did what we could. We put ourselves at their disposal. We were training and we were focused to put on a great show. So I think it makes sense with the call he made, and I really respect him for that.
You were at the last show in Brasilia. You're there to support your teammates. The arena is empty. You fought in the Tough House, but the Tough House is just a small place. I mean, it's not a big, like 10,000 seats or whatever. What was the feeling like in the event? At the event, was it awkward?
It was. I didn't actually walk into the arena because I was backstage, so I was in the locker room. I warmed up with Gilbert, and then he went only with 3 corners, and I sat back. But the crazy thing is that you can't hear any crowd, no cheering, and that's so out of reality for us. It's one of the things, at least in my opinion, it motivates me a lot to have the crowd and have everybody there, and not to have that and not to hear that. It was a really weird feeling. But at the same time, I mean, we're fighters. We adapt. We go there and we do what we have to do. When we're in training, there's no crowd. There's nobody cheering. So it's kind of, another day of training. That's the mentality we go into.
Yeah, when Gilbert knocked out Damian Maia, he was screaming. But then at that moment, it's like, oh, there's nobody out there. Like even myself, when I was watching live, I was like, I expected, the Brazilian crowd to just go crazy. This like there's nobody, and it just magnifies everything. Now, Fight Island, you hear all these things about this place that Dana White is building. He's like, it's like a movie, He's creating this setting for all the fighters to go and compete. I guess within the next month it should be done. What do you think about that place?
I think it's great. I think it's a great move. it's it's certainly a way that you're gonna keep people safe. There's nobody else besides UFC staff, the camera people, and the fighters. So I'm sure they're gonna test everyone before they get into the island. So it's gonna be kind of a safe environment, clean from any kind of virus. So it's a great idea, and they are gonna be able to to keep on doing their shows. We're gonna be keep on entertaining people at home. So I think it's a great idea, and I'm excited to see how it's gonna be. It's a lot of people are playing like Mortal Kombat and all these things, and it's crazy. It's like a movie, but I think all of this, all that we're living, is like a movie. Even the virus and the pandemic, it's like a movie. So we gotta, the solutions are gonna be kind of movie things also.
2019, it was the busiest year for you in the UFC so far. You had 4 fights. You fought two of the toughest guys in the division, and then you fought a top 5 guy at the end of the year. Let's go back to 244. You dropped a decision to Stephen Thompson in New York. Anything really surprised you about Wonderboy throughout that fight?
Not really that it surprised me. I was ready for what he was gonna do. Once we started the first round, I felt good in the sense that I was doing the right strategy. I was being patient. I got some good shots. He connected some things too, but nothing too big. When we started the second round, I think that I just felt like I had found the game. And that's when I started making mistakes, in the sense that you cannot just get comfortable with a guy like Wonderboy. And I did get a little bit comfortable in the sense, no, I'm going to go in there, pressure him, and do what I do. And that's when he started seeing the openings for the counterattacks. Once that started, maybe 2 or 3 times I got counterattacked. I realized I had to change my game plan and go back to what I was doing before, but that was too late. I couldn't go. I tried to change a little bit of things, but it didn't work out, and it went the way it went. But at the same time, I think it was a big learning experience for me. I think all the biggest thing is he's a veteran, and you can feel that in there, especially in striking, because he doesn't have that many MMA fights, but he has a big background in kickboxing and fighting in general. So I think that's what I felt in there, a big level of experience, and he just felt comfortable and knew what to do. And in certain moments, I made mistakes, and he just capitalized on them.
So it's nothing in your preparations. It's more of in-fight adjustments that you felt like that kind of swayed you away from the proper game plan to defeat Thompson.
I think at the moment, yeah, I definitely think that at the moment. Looking back at the fight after everything had gone, I definitely think I have a lot of things that I could get better. So that's another thing. Like, once I fought him and I saw the kind of level of striking he has, I saw like, man, maybe I have to work harder and work different. Look for new weapons, because I have very good weapons. I've been sharpening them for years, but I have to look for different things, and that's what I'm looking for now. Just put some, I don't know like how to explain it, but just a different feel of striking, and improve, get different, add to my game, and that's what I have been doing in the last months.
The next couple months, it's very unclear who you will fight. You could be Nico Price, it could be Randy Brown. They could come at you and say, okay, we'll give you a rematch with Leon. We don't know, right? We don't know this Fight Island. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. So if you could have a choice of who to fight, who would you choose?
Man, that's a tough call. I don't know. I think that a rematch with Wonderboy is something that will always interest me, but I don't think, maybe now it doesn't make sense. But if it happens, it would be great. I would love to step in there and have that rematch. And a Diaz fight, Nate Diaz, I think that would be a fight that I would have plenty of fun. And I think the people, would, all the crowd would have great fun with that. I'm going to go in there and push the pace. And he's not the guy that is going to quit. So it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, Fight Island is going to be interesting to see what kind of procedures they put in for the fighters and what you might have to do. Maybe you might have to fly there 2 weeks ahead of time to be quarantined and tested. And There's so much mystery in this, but like you said, the fighters, they're used to it. They're adapting all the time to every situation. Injuries, training camp is unpredictable when you start. Most of the time when you enter a training camp, does it end the way that you felt like it would end?
Most of the time it doesn't, but it's just the way it is. Now I don't know, but over 20, 22, 23 fights, and it's never how you imagine it, but that's when I know it's normal. If everything goes perfect, there's something wrong. I should really be concerned about it. So the normal is things are going to go wrong, but you're just going to keep on going, keep on pushing, and you're going to get out there and do what you do and fight. So this moment, it's hard, but for us fighters, it's just another challenge. We're still going to, be focused and go out there and do what we have to do. A big thing people were talking to me about is training. I mean, everybody is living the same situation, so training is the same for everyone. Everyone is struggling with that, so it's still going to be a fair night when two guys step in there and fight because everybody is in the same situation. So it's not going to be, no advantages to any sides.
So you're heading back to Brazil now in the next couple of days to be with your family?
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. I'm going to try to leave tomorrow and make it as quick as possible over there in Brazil. And I miss my family.
Safe travels for you, Vicente, and I appreciate your time, even though the situation right now with the UFC is very unclear. But yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully once you get the next fight lined up, I'll get you back on here and we could talk about it and be more clear on what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, definitely, man. Let's hope for the best. I think things are gonna get solved from here forward. And thanks for having me once more. And let's go. Let's have fun at home and just stay safe.